Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Popp. I'm Assistant Executive Director of West40 Intermediate Service Center number 2. Today I'll be talking about the work that I've been doing and that we've been doing focused on funding for alternative education programs run by regional offices of education and intermediate service centers. Last year, when the new evidence-based funding formula was signed into law, a lot of us across the state celebrated because this new funding formula is focused on equitable funding for every student in the state. But about halfway through the year, we realized that there were glitches in the formula. And so a number of trailer bills were needed to address unintended consequences or glitches. And one such glitch dealt with funding for alternative education programs, including regional safe school programs, alternative schools run through a truancy grant, and alternative learning opportunity programs. About halfway through last year, we began to address one such funding glitch. West40, working with our colleagues in the Illinois Association of Regional Superintendents of Schools, teamed up with a group of legislators across the state to make sure that funding flowed to us for work that we did with some of the most needy students across the state the previous year. At the end of the year, the legislature approved a $5.4 million appropriation in recognition for the growth in our programs over the previous year. The same glitch persists today, but this year our programs are being underfunded by over $6 million. To address that issue, our Senate Majority Leader, Kimberly Lightford, introduced Senate Bill 185, and her colleague in the House, Representative Chris Welch, introduced House Bill 2219. Those bills have both garnered bipartisan support, and they've been assigned to committee, and they're working their way through that process now. While these bills, when passed, are going to provide necessary support for programs that grew in their service to at-risk students from one year to the next, they're not a long-term solution. The long-term solution is being developed by the Professional Review Panel. That's a legislatively mandated group of people who are supposed to analyze the implementation of the evidence-based funding formula and who are supposed to offer suggested changes to that formula to the legislature. The panel's first charge upon formation was to address the needs of funding for students in alternative education programs. Even though the need for alternative education has increased over the years, funding has decreased. For example, the grant that funds the Regional Safe School has seen cuts over the past decade of $56 million. Today, that program is being funded at 44% of the amount that it was funded at back in 2009. Our hope is that in March, the Professional Review Panel sends to the legislature a proposal that would equitably fund students in alternative education programs, students who are there now and students who will be there in the future. Thank you for any support you can give to our two current funding bills, and thank you in advance for support that you can offer when the Professional Review Panel proposes legislation in March.